All right, we're gonna do an underwater scene here, suggested by Jay, and then hopefully put my best attempt at a sea turtle completely from memory, and it's not likely gonna be great because I haven't seen a lot of sea turtles. So hopefully this is entertaining. We gotta get this done in 10 minutes, so here we go. To make an underwater scene, I want my deepest, darkest color right at the horizon, because unlike the atmosphere that's our sky, the atmosphere that's underwater darkens everything as it gets further away, where the sky gets illuminated, and the further away you get, the more sky you're looking at, you have that lighter horizon. But just the opposite underwater, we have a nice dark horizon, that's the deep water. But what makes this easier and faster is that I don't have to use all that magenta to correct when I'm underwater, because the light gets colored greener as it gets brighter, and this blue naturally gets greener as it gets colored brighter, probably for a similar reason that water does. So this is getting more turquoise as I add the white to it. I'm making a gradient. It comes up out of the water here, so we're going to have some real blue water. I could add some green. Let's just for giggles add a little bit of green just to make this more of a tropical looking water. Or I don't know, maybe green makes it look more swampy. Then let's put some dark blue down here. Okay, so now we have our dark blue deeper water, and we have our brighter greener water. And what I'm going to do is make the light popping through in these green areas, and these shapes need to be somewhat diamondy if I want them to look like waves. So just something close to that. And so I'm going to make these oval shapes going out like this, and there's going to be fewer and fewer of them, and they're going to get a little bit flatter and stretched out as they get further away. This is the light popping through the surface here. And just to add a little bit of kind of perspective to it, I'm going to curve them a little bit. I'm going to tilt these a little bit so that, as your angle in any direction flattens out, as you look in any direction, you see less and less. And so it's just this circle area that's over your head where you can see out of this water because of how it changes the direction of the light rays coming through. So we'll put white right in the middle. Lots of white right here. This is where you can see up out of the water. And so I make a combination of big diamondy shapes and just merge them together. But I'm kind of building that shape out of many kind of diamond shapes. Okay, then I just need a gradient underneath this. I'm getting a little bit obsessed with these little shapes, so we gotta stop. Now down here, this is the sea floor. So there, I'm just gonna use black and white to make some kind of a brownish colored sand. So I'll make a second gradient after I get lots of blue on here, because I love that deep dark water. Yes. Okay, so we have our dark, distant water, and then as it comes forward, that's where we're going to want the gray, which in this scene, since there's so much blue, that gray is going to end up looking very brown. Let's add lots of white to it. And we'll get our sea floor. All right, I'm going to flip this over for a second so that I can paint this side. Let's do this. Let's get some white. We're painting upside down for a minute so I can get the top of this, bottom of this canvas. All right, there we go. And then we're just going to blend it into that dark blue. It's going to get further and further away as it blends into that dark blue. That's going to create atmosphere distance for me. Notice I don't have to add the magenta. So painting underwater scenes is very relaxing when I have to, when I can eliminate a step, Okay, so now let's flip it back over. And now we've got ourselves set up with an underwater environment. So how in the world am I going to put a sea turtle in there? Let's see.
5 minutes.
Oh. Okay, here's his shell. All right, we're going to put a little bit of light on his shell. And so then I think I'm going to want to put a shadow under this guy. The shadow, there's all that brown dirt underneath, so I'm going to go ahead and add some black. And I know that turtles have this rainbow cavity where their head pops out of their shell. So I'm going to make this darker here. And then I'm going to put a little bit of white on the bottom side so that I can just kind of do a soft reflected light on the underside of the shell. And then on his head, we're going to put a dark shadow right here, and then we'll put a little bit of white to pop the head right out of here. And I know that they have a very squarish head. I remember seeing that. Squarish head, okay. And I know that they've got a beak. Although I don't know how extreme that beak is, so we're going to go like this. All right, we've got a little shadow in here. Oh man, I am eating up time right now. Okay, we've got a little bit of a beak on our sea turtle. Okay, and then I need some angled eyes. They've got slanty eyes. If you want it to look like a turtle, you got to do. Okay. Oh. It's hard for my shaky hands to hit that.
Fish hook got caught in that one.
Okay, slanty eyes, a beak. Okay, and then we're going to put a little bit of a shadow on the nose. So I'm going to borrow some of this dark color in here, and I'm going to go put a little bit of shadow on the nose, and then we're going to put his fins going out like this. Like this. Bigger where that, maybe it would be like a wrist joint that comes out, and then we're going to take some black, and we're going to put it right here and right here, because that frontward face is going to be darker. I'm going to leave the underside brighter and the top side brighter. Then I'm going to put a little highlight of white right here. You sound tired, Cody. Big old sigh. Okay. And then we'll put a highlight right here on this one. Sound effects really help me keep my mojo going. Okay, and then we got to put the back fins.
2 minutes.
Let's put where's the back ones? How's that? Okay. Oh man. I'm gonna go look at pictures of sea turtles and be like, oh man, I didn't do it right. Do they have a tail?
It's hidden.
Stubby, isn't it?
Okay. So I'm just gonna leave the shell here. Like that.
I think the front fins may come closer to the head.
Yeah, do you think so? Okay, let's try it. Let's bring this out here. Bring this up here. Like that. Okay. And then I'm gonna try to put some little lines in the shell. Like this. Let's grab some of that darker color, make some lines in the shell. Just an impression of some turtle segments. How are we doing on time?
1 minute.
Oh, 1 minute, come on. Okay, we gotta stop on the turtle. Okay, now we're gonna do some coral. Okay, so let's do some purple color going back. Let's add a little bit of white. Okay, we're gonna do this. Now we need some brighter color as it comes forward, so we're gonna do red, like this, and add a little bit of yellow right here. And then we're gonna add some white right here.
30 seconds.
All right, and then we're gonna add a little bit more right here. Oh man, we're running out of time. Let's get brighter as we come closer with some yellow and some red And then let's grab a little bit of black and make some little fishies in here, like this.
10, 9, 8,
7,
6,
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Oh man, that's all I can do. So this is all I can do in 10 minutes, but here's a couple fun things that I can do to enhance this. I can put a shadow under the turtle. We talked about that. So I'll just grab some blue and everything I want to be dramatically affected by this heavy blue atmosphere. So I'll take some blue and maybe some magenta so that the shadow is not too green. And I'll just make the edges of this shadow kind of distorted. And I'm not going to make the shadow real dark because since water breaks apart the light much quicker than air, it bounces light into the shadow a lot, and you don't have intense dark shadows. So I'm just going to have a little bit of a shadow in here that's not like a black shadow. So a little bit of magenta in the blue, and then kind of breaking it up into different areas because we've got light coming different directions here. And so then might be fun to add a few light rays coming down. That might be cool. So we can do those two different ways. A fun way to do it is just to grab a tiny bit of blue and paint the areas that are in between the light rays rather than the light rays themselves. So let me clean off this brush, though. I might have to repair that turtle. But we just grab a little bit of this blue and put it in between the light rays. Like this. There we go. Make some of those. And this is wet, so it's making all those weird streaks right now, but when it dries, it's not going to be so bad. So let's just go like this, blend some of those ugly spots out, and we'll just see what that looks like when it dries. Probably bad. Okay, let's repair these spots. Put that dark blue back in place, and then we'll come back in and we'll. It was probably would have been better just to wait till this was dry and just use a light color to do those light rays. Okay, then I'll repair his little arm right here. There we go.
Mm-hmm.
And put this little line here, repair that.
Easiest repair I've ever seen.
Yeah.
And then let's see, we can put some shadows on this coral. So let's put some more intense color coming forward. And then now we can actually put some shadows in this. So let's put some dark color in the foreground. And I'll start with magenta so that I can then put some blue in here and put some deep spots in here. Who knows what kind of coral this is. Oh yeah, and Mike mentioned seaweed, so we could put that in. Okay, now we have some fun shadows in the coral. Let's go ahead and put a bunch of blue in here with some of the magenta. Make a shadow. Right there. A little bit of shadow there. Okay, seaweed, we can just take dark color. I don't know what dark color to use for the seaweed. Let's try some blue at first. And maybe a little bit, let's just do blue and magenta again. So let's go like this. Let's go like big, skinny, big, skinny, big. Skinny, big, skinny, big, skinny. Let's make some seaweed going up here. Whoa, whoa. All right, and then let's do a few more of those. We'll do blue in here. I didn't like the way that fishy looked anyway.
Who's hiding?
Yeah. Then we can grab a little bit of yellow and put some of our green in this seaweed. So let's go like this. Let's go right there. Put a little bit of green in here. Maybe just a couple of spots. Couple of spots catching the light here. Let's put that going way up here in front of the light. That'll be a fun effect.
Yeah.
Ooh, I want to do that again right here. That's kind of fun. You know, I used to really sweat the more accurate details of scenes, but you know, if I can just get a plant to look believable, now I'm more concerned about that because if it looks believable, it just, you know, it's just a fun imaginary painting that takes you to another place, you know. So I do like knowing exactly what seaweed looks like, but if it doesn't look just like this, then I don't really sweat it. So I'm going to put more color in these close ones so that they look closer, less influenced by the color of the water. Got a few more details in there. All right. Man, those light rays are terrible. Those things look awful. I didn't do that very well. That didn't come out very good. Okay. I'm just going to leave them looking bad because I don't deserve to have them look good. But what I am going to do is try a different method. So I'm going to go like this. I'm going to put a little bit of water on the canvas. I'm going to take my bright green right here. Actually, I can use yellow for this, a tiny bit of yellow. And a little bit of white right here. Okay, and then I'm just going to use some water and try doing them this way, like this. Let's rinse the brush out all the way and just get it real thin. I just want to get barely any on there. Yeah, except with the dirty brush, it just doesn't really work that good. Let's try it with this. There we go. That's better. Now let's get some white. Light rays should not block out reflections. We're going to put the, or I didn't mean reflection, light should not block out light. So I want all of my bright spots to continue through. Right here. There, that looks better than it did. All right, then we have to help our little sea turtle along again. Fix his little fin. Do that. Then do a little bit of shadow on there, and then we're just going to call it good. And there, let's get a little bit of shadow on this one. There we go. There we go. Okay, oh, we gotta fix this. We've got light rays coming down. We don't want dark light rays. They always have to be lighter than everything they're around. So we got to get rid of all the part of the light ray that is darker in the background. So all I got to do is just put some of this blue in place again. There, that's better.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because I don't want light rays to look like a dark thing. They've got to look like a bright addition to the picture.
Okay.
So here, let's get more white. Like that. There we go. There we go. Let's put that light in there.
Okay.
All right, now let's
Awesome.
stop. Now let's call it good.